All right, let's do it. All right. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome to today's stream. I feel like it's been a little bit. I think we streamed early last week and now late this week, so it feels like it's been a while. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining and being part of this. Today we are going to be streaming some photos or editing some photos from Vancouver, British Columbia, up in Canada, and yeah, discussing Vancouver's a city that is very much nestled in and around the mountains. So we'll be talking a lot about kind of that connection. Which will be fun. Excuse me. As always, this is as much of an open forum as I can let it be, given the restrictions of a stream. If you have comments, if you have questions, if you want to share the awesome work that you do, by all means, share. Hey, Steffi and Evelyn and Mia. I know it's been a while. It's been a bit. I'm glad to be on. I'm glad, and I'm touched that I'm your favorite. You two are also my favorites. But of course, I can't pick which one of you is my favorite because that is not okay. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing this. So yes, if you have awesome work you want to share, if you have questions or comments, please by all means share them. I do this to pull the curtain back on post production and post processing because it is so often it's a huge part of our current photography world and so often not discussed and not sort of showcased. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into Lightroom here. So, yeah, this is a shot of Vancouver. It is part of a panorama, which I've already gone ahead and put together. So this is the first photo we're gonna be editing, but wanted to show you this is actually 8 photos. I'm not sure why this one is here. Let's put this there so it's at the end of the group. But yeah, so 8 different photos put together into this one. And usually what I'll do, you notice this is you got a railing here and a little bit of a dock over there, I think. Yeah, what I tend to do with panoramas is I tend to overshoot them and then kind of crop in where I need to. So let's go ahead and do that for starters. Let's crop this side in just to lose that little dock there. I could remove it kind of as with the healing brush, but I think this is simpler. I'm not too worried. And I'm going to do the same thing over here because that still gives you the scope of it. And I found the healing brush to be a little bit finicky when it comes to removing things right on the edge. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to do crop wise. I probably want to bring this down a little bit just to get a little bit more debating. Come all the way down like that and make something real panoramic. But I actually like having the clouds up there. Nah, I still want more of that. Let's come to about there. I think that looks good. Yeah. I actually bring the bottom up a little bit, which means I can bring this out a little more because I don't have to worry about that railing as much. There we go. Because I do like the breadth of it. Breadth, B-R-E-A-D-T-H. What a strange word. Anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and my usual thing to play with, clarity, dehaze, to see what they give me. Okay, dehaze is good. There's a lot of blue in these photos. Daylight, midday daylight tends to do that, and that's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see, highlights. I think we're probably gonna bring down because I like having the detail in the sky there. Typical, bring the blacks down and the shadows up a bit. Cool. Whites. Yeah, whites can come up a little bit just to brighten up everything else. My horizon looks pretty straight. Let me double check that real fast and just kind of grab this guy. Bring him right across here. Okay, a little bit of straightening. Let's do negative 25. Negative 0.25. That's better. Negative 25 is a slightly different number. And I can extend this out a little bit, and I can come take this back a bit. Now that we've cropped up a bit, we can go back and get the. I don't worry about that dock. Cool. There we go. I think that looks it's a pretty good start. Let's keep going. Okay, so clarity. I think I want to do clarity more selectively on this one. I think I want to do it in sections, and then dehazing. Whoa, hey, there we go. A little bit of delay on dehaze, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do those kind of separately. Let's do some masking first. Look at the sky here. Okay, that's actually pretty perfect. I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. So let's bring up the clarity. I don't know if I want to dehaze this. Nah, dehazing the sky seems a little bit much on this one. Let's texture it. Let's definitely texture it. That gives some really nice detail in there. And then shadows. Now let's bring the shadows up. Let's brighten this thing. Nice. I like that. All right, now I want to do let's come to this mask and do duplicate and invert, so we'll get everything else. Let me duplicate this as is right now. Actually, you know what? Let me undo that. Let me take. All right, yeah. Delete that mask. Let's come back to here. We're gonna do a subtract with a linear gradient because I want to get rid of the water. So we're just going to get the mountains in the city, which for the majority of today, for all intents and purposes, the mountains in the city are going to be combined into one thing. Let's go up here like that. Somewhere in the middle, something like that. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. Cool. So let's invert that. Is that what I want? Yeah, I want to invert that. Cool. So now I can. Well, actually, hang on. This is supposed to be a subtract brush, so this should just. Oh, am I doing this upside down? I think I'm doing this upside down. Yeah, I was doing it upside down. Okay, let's flip that over and do it this way. Bring this up a little more, just like that. There we go. Cool. So now we've selected the city and the mountains. And now I can do a duplicate and invert on that one. I'll get all this, and then I can get rid of the sky, and now I just have the water. Cool. Let's see if I do a quick rename on these. City, mountain. Rename. This is the water. I can't spell apparently. What a great way to start the stream off. There we go. And then this one is the sky. Easy. Okay. So city and mountains. What do I want to do with those? Let's see. Definitely some clarity. Probably wants to go a little bit lighter on the dehaze. Kind of dehaze it down. Texture for sure. Texture all the way up, absolutely. It's going to get a little noisy back in there, but I'm not too worried about that, honestly. Might denoise some of the colors, but yeah. Let's see. Highlights up, good. And shadows. Now, leave the shadows where they are. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Maybe bring the whites up a bit. There we go. The blacks down. A little bit of contrast there, something like that. I don't know. Let's leave that as is until I get a chance to do the color sliders, and I'll come back. And then water. You know me, first thing's always texture and clarity with water. I always like to get as much detail in the water as I can. Dehaze, that's a bit much. Yeah, dehaze might be a little too strong in this. I think the water is kind of going to stay as it is. So I might end up playing with the saturation. Actually, I'm definitely going to play with the saturation. There we go. That's a little something. I push this a little more toward blue. Kind of get the whole thing involved there. That's a little much. Let's do -4. That's all right. What's missing from that? I think I've been brightening up the clouds. Let's brighten up the water as well. Keeping the sky nice and bright, keeping the water nice and bright will give us some nice contrast right through the middle with our water, and that'll be cool. Bring the blacks down just a touch, the contrast up just a touch to give us, yeah, keep that detail in there. Awesome. Let's go back to our main adjustments, come down to play with color. So bringing up blue, this photo's up. Blue is obviously a big part of this photo, which I don't know if I want it to be. There's part of me wants to come up here and adjust this over to more of a kind of neutral tone here. That's not neutral. Something closer to that actually I think looks better, and then we can do individual adjustments. I'm also going to push it a little bit toward green, which I will then actually I will leave that as is and kind of selectively play with it. Okay, cool. So we've gone a little more, yeah, we've gotten a little bit off that blue light. So now when I pull some blues up, it's not quite as overwhelming. It's a little more like that, which is great. It adds color where we want it and not where we don't. Phenomenal. Aqua, is this a photo where Aqua gets to play? A little bit actually, but I don't want it to this time actually, believe it or not. I want to bring that, yeah, I want to leave that right where it is. Greens. Greens at play really at all here? Not really. There's not really a lot of green to play with. Yellow? There's yellow in the sky and in the water, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I kind of like it. It adds some interesting color. I know we're sick of orange and teal, but I do kind of like how that looks. All right, orange. Again, in the sky and some in the city. You know what? Let's pull the oranges up and put the yellows back. Let's do it that way. That'll give us little pops of color in there without it being as overwhelming. Reds are in the city. Reds are in the city. We're going to bring reds all the way up. It gives us pops on this, like the boat over here. It gives us some nice colors in this is, I figured out why this photo is a little bit slow to respond. That's because it's huge. I don't even want to know how big this file actually is now because panoramas are gigantic. Let's see, magentas and purples. Magenta's not really at play. Purple might be. A little purple in the mountains? Not really. The mountains are kind of staying all blue. That's cool. All right, so we know what colors we're going to play with. Let's come down here and adjust them. Adjust the lightness of them. All right. Yeah, I want to bring up the aquas because that's actually brightening up this section in the middle here. That's these, which is, I'm a huge sucker for light coming through, for cloud shadows and stuff. In this case, we kind of have the opposite. We've got, this part of the mountain is in shadow. And this bright spot is where we've got light coming through. Probably coming through right there. Light coming down through that and giving us, and lighting that up. And aqua seems to be where that color is, and I want to brighten that up. Greens, again, not really at play much at all. Little bits down by the water. I'll brighten that up. Yellows. Yeah, yellows we can brighten up if we really want to. I like that. I like how bright that makes it look. Let's see what the oranges do if I do that. Now, oranges aren't as big. Okay, so let's brighten up the yellows. Bring the yellows up in that kind of way, and that way we've brightened up we've saturated the oranges and brightened the yellows, and that's cool. Reds, yeah, we're gonna brighten them up. We're gonna brighten them and saturate them. That makes them stand out. All of a sudden, I'm noticing the hull of the ship over here. It's great. Blue is the question. Blue is gonna be the big one. Nah, blue is gonna stay right where it is. Blue is fine. And then purple and magenta we didn't do anything with. Sweet. Okay, that's looking good. Let's go back to our masks, specifically my water mask. I want to push that a little more toward blue. Not that much. Something like that. -10. Something like that. And then I can crank the saturation. Get some interesting streaks there. I might lean into that. I might do some cool masking there. Okay. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. How do I do this if I want to make this happen? All right, I'm gonna crank this up just for a second. I don't want it to be that intense yet. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna push the sky a little toward blue. Actually, the sky right where it is. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Okay. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate my city and mountain mask. Duplicate that, which is gonna make that look ridiculous. We're gonna reset all the sliders because I don't want to. You'll see where this is going. I think this will work. Okay, cool. City and mountain's been duplicated. Excellent. Now, I want to invert it, so I just get the water in the sky. Great. Then, what do I want to do? Then I want to. It's gonna be intersect. It's gonna be subtract. Intersect. Let's try intersect with a linear gradient. I need these as separate intersections. How do I do this? Because I like these subtle lines that we have here, kind of coming down, from the sky and the water, and I kind of like that. So let's kind of work our way across. I think this will work. I think this silly idea I have will work. It'll be a little complicated, but I think it'll be cool. All right. Let me try subtract. How do I do this without it getting? Because I want to build multiple. I want to build multiple ones on here. I also might be overthinking this. Intersect that with another one. Yeah, the problem is getting these. I come to there. And then I do a subtract. Yeah, the problem is subtracting means I'm going to be getting rid of everything else. So what if I do it? Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to this one. Get a bunch of these nice lines. What if I start subtracting everything? It's cool that I can do this. It's cool that I can just, get everything but that. Okay, delete that. Subtract with a linear gradient. Nice vertical gradient going here. I'll subtract all of that. Cool. And we'll do another subtract with a linear gradient. And we will subtract the stuff on the other side. The problem is getting these things to not overlap with each other. We can start like this, but then I gotta start drawing actual lines. All right. Let's put this on hold for now. I'm gonna set it for 2 stars so I know I come back to it. And let's work on some other photos from Vancouver because there's a lot to work with. And let's take a break from panoramas. There's a bunch of panoramas I can do. Let's take a break from that. Let's do, what do we want to do? There's a ton of good ones in here. You know what, there was one here that caught my attention earlier that I was looking at the city and really liked. Let me find that one. Where did that one go? One of the skyline shots. Wasn't this one, was it? I don't think it was this one. No, but I like this one. Where did that skyline shot go that I was enjoying? It's gonna drive me crazy. It's not that one. No, that's the harbor. I had a lot of fun taking pictures of seaplanes when we were out here. A lot of shots of seaplanes coming in. And a lot of shots like this where you've got something in the water and then the city and then the mountains. Let's see what we got here. That one's cool. Let's work on this one. Again, talking city and mountains. And if I pull this up and pull this up, this one's about... honestly, same kind of thing was like what we just did, because there's a lot of Vancouver that looks like this. Even though technically this is, I'm not sure exactly what the neighborhoods are. That's technically a suburb of Vancouver because I'm taking photos from downtown Vancouver. I'm not sure exactly how it gets broken up. All right, I'm gonna pull this up a bit Could come all the way up to there and just make it about that. I do kind of like that. I think I'll do a second version. Let's start with this because I like those lines in the water, and let's keep that in. Okay. So this one's a little bit easier to work with for starters because I know some of the basics of what I want to do. Those whites down. Push our midday light off of blue. I don't necessarily want to. I do kind of like the blue light that I get in Vancouver and get in the middle of the day. Highlights. Debating how bright I want that. I'll leave it alone for now. Bring the blacks down so we get that nice contrast. Okay, yeah, keeping it bright I think was the right idea. Just doing it this way. And then the shadows up just the usual little bit. Which is actually pushing it more toward blue. Let's leave it like that and bring the highlights up. Let's do it like that. Maybe the shadows up a little bit. Cool. Do the blacks up just a touch. Something like that. There we go. Cool. Already coming along. Texture. Texture needs to be a little more specific. So we're going to do that separately. And dehaze. No. Ooh, hey, that just got interesting. That just became a weird art piece. Okay, fucking love that. All right, we're doing 2 versions. We're gonna play. All right, so version 2. And I apologize if I feel like this is skipping a little bit. For some reason, Lightroom's being a little sluggish today. I leave the clarity kind of where it is. If I go high clarity, we get that. If I leave the clarity here, we're getting this, and that is really interesting. That almost looks like a Studio Ghibli frame. I like that. It's more than I can really describe. That's awesome. All right, yeah. For this, highlight's gonna come up. Yeah, geez. Okay, cool. I don't want to do. There's so little I want to do with this, but I really, there's so much. I love the way this is right now. What else? All right, let's play with some colors. Vibrance up a little bit, I think, is a great way to go. Leans into that blue. Saturation even a little bit too. This is that's what I love about this photo. It's all aqua. That's it. All right, let's come down to colors. Let's play with some colors. Blues. Blues up. Yeah, blues up is, your aqua's up is great. Blues might actually be a little much. Yeah, let's bring the blues down and let aqua just kind of have its day here. Yeah. Bring the aquas up even more. So let's max out the aquas. Greens. It's a little bit of green, not a whole lot. Reds, yeah. Let's bring the reds up. I want the little bits of red to completely pop. This looks so cool. Oh my god, this is a photo that this is one of those times that makes me think, you know, that just color just hits you, and it's like it's the color of this photo that's making me absolutely fall in love right now. I can actually feel my day just in general getting better. I feel so good because of this photo right now. Guys, make art, share art, experiment, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. I love this. Whew. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. Let's see. Oranges, not really doing much. Yellows. There's some yellow in there. Let's bring the yellows up. Maybe not quite as much as the reds. And then we'll bring the yellows, leave them alone. Let's see, oranges. A little bit of orange in the city. We'll bring that down a bit. Again, gives us a little bit of detail within this because it's a very, I don't know how to describe how much I love this photo. Brighten that up. Yeah, I think bringing up the... I don't need to bring the reds up too much. They're already standing out very nicely, but ooh, that does stand out really well. Brighten the blues up a little bit. Gives us that detail in the mountains back there. Oh, this is so cool. This is, yeah, just cool beyond cool. I absolutely love it. Phone is vibrating. Let me check and see why. Let's see. just discussing film editing. Okay. Yeah, there's so like little I want to do with this photo. I think it looks amazing. Quality's good, the colors are good. Let's see. I think the only thing I kind of want to do is get a little more detail up in the mountains back there, and we can do that with masks. So let's do linear gradient here. We're going to give it a little bit of a fade. Going to come up and set it right on, kind of on that ridge, just like that. And then we're going to, this time we're definitely going to intersect with another linear gradient. We're going to come over here, swing that around, and kind of angle this like that. Open it up a bit. There we go. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, I think just texture. Oh, clarity. No. Excuse you. And dehaze. Absolutely not. Why is clarity cranking it to white like that? That's bizarre. We're gonna leave that right alone. But upping the texture, I think, is the way to go here, because I just wanted to define that edge a little more. And if I do it with too much color, or I do too much of it with light, it's going to end up. If I do it with too much light, it's going to end up becoming. Yeah, it's going to end up becoming too much of a. Let's lengthen that a bit. Pull this. Yeah, it would end up becoming too obvious. But a little bit of texture there, I think, is good. It defines that ridge a little more. Could bring up the highlights, could bring them down. Just want to have a little more definition in there. That's all I really want. Without it becoming its own thing. I don't want to distract from it. I just wanted, if you look up there, I want you to be able to see it, and I think that's pretty good. Do I need the texture now? Yeah, definitely. Texture's definitely making a difference on that one. I'm also going to denoise to find that middle ground. Excellent. Okay, cool. I want to do another mask. Can't do this one with a brush, I think. We're going to zoom in here. And I want to actually, you know what? Just try this. Boom. Subtract brush. Let's get rid of the edge here. So we're just getting some of that sky. There we go. And I want to brighten this up just a bit, just to make sure that yeah, kind of guides our way through the valley there. Excellent. I can brighten that up even more, honestly, if I brighten up the whites or the shadows. The shadows is a more subtle effect. Let's go with that. Yeah, just that little extra touch. Oof, I love it. All right, let's come down. I wanted to come down and do the same thing with the water, just a bit, because there are some nice lines here that I'd like to kind of indulge. Actually, yeah, let's do this with a linear. Let's do a couple linear gradients and just do it that way. No, it's a curved line. You know what? Let's see what we can do with a brush. Just sort of carve our way through this. Sort of following this line. Here we go. Now I can take some shadows down a little bit. Let's finish this out and follow that through. There we go. Gonna bring the density down and sort of grab a couple extra spots here. Oop, nope, leave that where it was. That was fine. Blacks. Yeah, just a little bit of, just a light little bit of. Actually, kind of okay with that really harsh line right there. Let's bring the density down even more, and just kind of Slide through here to soften that line just the tiniest bit. Yeah. Oh, that looks so good, guys. I can't get over how good this looks. And this was this is always how it goes. It's always the best photos are always the ones that you do accidentally. Like, absolutely, yeah. Ah, that looks phenomenal. I could not have asked for a better photo. This made my entire day. Sweet. All right, density back up. Back to the global adjustments, and we are setting this at 3 stars because that is perfect. You want to see this photo?
Yes.
There's your before and after.
Ooh.
And
Is that Vancouver?
That's Vancouver. Yep. I don't know. I keep thinking this looks like Studio Ghibli.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like.
I see that.
Yeah. Are those canonic? Are the Studio Ghibli movies are not canonically set in Japan? Like some of them are, I think, but
yeah, no, some of them are.
Some of them definitely are, but some of them are.
Marco Rosso isn't. That's
right.
For sure. Some of them are in mystical worlds.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where Howl's Moving Castle is set, but
I don't think it's a real place.
I don't think so either. But.
Okay, I have to go.
Okay.
Can I give you a...
Yes.
Bye, guys.
There we
Hi,
go.
Steffi. Hi, everyone. But also bye.
Maria Lisa, master of the quick introduction.
And the quick goodbye.
Yes. Okay, let's come down. Let's. All right. Well, I could go back and edit the other version of this photo, but I really don't want to right now. So I'm gonna leave this one alone. I'm gonna give it 1 star to know that I'm gonna come back to it. And let's move along a little bit and find another photo to work on. Let's see. Got a couple good ones at the bridge here with the city. Actually, there was one here with a bus that I thought was cool. Is it this one? Where's this one? It's here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this one's cool. This one's got a lot of stuff that I really like about it. Let's go ahead and work on this one. So we're gonna pull this down. I could get more of the city in there. I don't know if I want to. I think this must. Definitely gonna bring this in. I think coming in here like that, kind of. Let's go past this stoplight and just do it like that. This is a photo I really wish I was like. Yeah, let's do it as a 4x5. That seems like a good frame for it. Photo I really wish I was higher up for, so that I could get this a little more. Yeah, get a little more of the. Yeah, not be looking. Yeah, have a little more of an eye level view of the bridge. But actually, I like this. It's got a lot of layers. It's got a lot of detail, a lot of depth to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's work on this one. Of course, now I have to check and see if there's a reason to. I do like that coming in there. I don't know. I don't know if I like having the. If I come up to there, what does that look like full screen? Okay, question: do I like having the? Would I rather have the bridge kind of start in that corner and kind of cross that way because that looks more aesthetically pleasing, or go to this one where we get more of the? No, I know the answer. I want it like this. We get a little bit of the city under there, but mostly we get it. Yeah, it seems like it fits together better. Cool. All right, so that's what we're gonna work on. What bus is this, by the way? No, just 250 to Vancouver. Okay, so. And of course, now first thing I got to do is dehaze everything to see if it looks any better to do it that way. Now this photo isn't that last one. We can edit this one in a more traditional way, though. Honestly, if I could edit every photo like the one we just did, I'd be pretty happy. Well, mostly. Okay, let's see. I want to bring this over just a bit, just like that. Let's keep this all the way up and just bring this down even a little bit more. There we go. Gotta find that exact right amount there. There we go. That's better. Cool. Cool. All right, highlights. Yeah, this photo's gonna be bright and about connection. I'm definitely gonna do a black and white version of this photo. Yeah, a black and white version of this photo is gonna be great because the composition is so good. Let's see. Shadows up for brightness, blacks down for contrast. Now the thing is I could push this a little more away from that kind of midday blue. Actually, oh, I like that. I do like that a lot, and that gives us some very nice, distinct green, green, blue, and yellows kind of interacting with each other. We'll have some fun with this. Cool. All right, texture. Yeah, texture can come up pretty much across the board. I might lower the texture if I do a sky mask. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Give me the sky and some sweet tea. Good. I don't know if you, it's really hard to tell, but this does actually, I can see on the little tiny little thumbnail here that it is actually not, or it's more lightly affecting the support beams, which is great, because it means I can bring the texture down without losing too much of the texture of them. I also wouldn't mind bringing the highlights down a bit there, because yeah, we were losing some of that. And I might push this back toward blue just a touch, because that yellow is giving me a bit of a sun thing going on. Put the whites down and put the highlights back. Now that just looks... Am I clipping right in the middle there? Just a little. Okay, just a little bit. All right. Let me turn that on. Bring the highlights down until... Cool. And I can bring the shadows up a bit to smooth that out. Yeah, nice low contrast sky there. A little bit of extra. Could dehaze it a bit, but I don't think I want to. I could dehaze it more. Okay, cool. So let's turn that off. Ooh, we're underexposed under the bridge. That's fine. I'm cool with that. All right, awesome. So we've masked that. That helps. Okay. You know what? Out of curiosity, if I tell this thing if I tell it to select the subject, what's it going to give me? It might give me the bridge. Ooh, there we go. I'm sure the microphone's good enough. That's not what I asked for. Okay, get rid of that. Not helping. I'm going to try an object brush, which might take forever, but we're going to give it a shot. We did the one last time where it was the entire little river down there in Richmond. So now we're going to try this. See if I can get that stop sign there. Or that, yeah, stoplights. All right. Also realize my microphone is good enough this time that every time I crack my knuckles, I'm sure it's coming across. That's not too bad, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to add another object brush, because I want to see if I can get the bottom of the bridge over here. I want to get this little section. Let me see if I can get me that as a separate little brush, and then we'll be good. Because I'd really like to be able to adjust that specifically. And have some fun with an inverted mask on it as well. Honestly, that part should be easy. That part shouldn't. I think it was a little confused by the change in the background, but that part should. What? All right. Strange. I don't know why you don't think that's a thing. All right, let's add a luminance range. Theoretically, this super dark area should be achievable. There we go. It's the part of the bridge that's clipping, so yeah, we can get that. A little bit like that. There we go. Good. And now I can subtract with a brush. Let's see. Density's all the way up, and we're going to make sure we get rid of everything else that could have been affected by that. You see the color overlay on black and white. That'll help. I can see exactly what we're getting. Okay, don't think we have too much that we don't want. Okay, now I want to add with a brush, because I want to get, I'm going to zoom in to 60%, actually 50%. Go with your first instinct, because I want to get this section right here, because that's a solid part of the bridge that should just be completed. There we go. Good. Excellent. Cool. Okay, so we got our bridge. Interesting that you included that. That might be a problem. We will see. All right, we're going to put this. We're going to turn the overlay off. We're going to up the blacks. You still clipping there? We're not. Okay, good. So I can bring those down until they are clipping, which is right about there. Doesn't take much to clean that up. There we go. There's a little more detail in that. I've already upped the texture, so there's not a whole lot that I can do, but I'm going to bring it up a little more anyway. And now I'm going to do a duplicate and invert, which will get me everything else. Here's my subtract brush. There we go. A couple spots on here that need subtracting. Good. And then I can bring the texture down just the teeniest bit. If I go all the way down, it's a problem. If I'm just bring it down just a little bit, it'll help us distinguish help us, make the bridge a little more foreground. Not that it really needs it. It looks really good as is. Okay, let's play with some color. Let's come down here. Greens. Yeah, greens are coming up. Aquas. It's aqua. I love when aquas get to play. Yellows, yep. And then blues. Very much all getting to play together. Aqua, we're going to push toward green for this one. We don't often do that. We're going to do it this time. That's a bit of a problem. Hang on a second. Why is that? It's amazing how much... Actually, yeah, we should be able to push this. Push aquas toward green without losing too much. So let me zoom in and see what's happening there. Yeah, it's getting that in a bit of a haze. So yeah, no, I want to talk about. Notice here how like when I mean it's a little noisy anyway, but if I push the aquas toward green, because these are reading sort of as both, it looks like it's a. Instead of getting just the slats of the bridge, we're getting the stuff behind it too, because it's in between the pixels. I don't know if it bothers me too much. It just is kind of annoying. If I bring the colors down, maybe that helps. Let's see. Oranges really aren't doing much on this photo. Reds? Nah, not really. Blues. That's the aquas again. I'm grabbing the wrong thing. And then blues. Yeah, blues are the mountains back there. Which I think we'll bring up just a little bit. Yeah, just enough to make something of them. And greens. Yeah, greens are down there. I'm going to push the greens toward yellow a little bit, which I don't usually do, but I think will look good here. And we can bring the yellows up. There we go. That's coming along. Something to work with. Let's keep playing. Give me that back. Let's see. There we go. Luminosity on the aquas is a good idea. Well, the greens, yellows for sure. That's also getting the sky though. I might have to push the sky back toward yellow, back away from yellow a little bit. The oranges might be the fix there. Now orange is playing in the sky. Let's put the oranges back. Actually, desaturating the oranges, bringing the yellows up, might be the answer. That's actually pretty good. I'm getting happier and happier with that as we go. Blues, a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter is a good idea, not to the degree of anything else. And then greens do kind of fill in. Okay. Actually, the more I saturate that, the less I like it as I look at this here. Yeah, maybe a little bit with the blues just to give us a bit more of that contrast. But yeah, the more I saturate, the less I'm happy with it. I'm liking that though. I'm pretty happy with how that's coming along. Do anything with color on this, am I? Yo, hey, that's a bit much. This mask here. Can bring up the saturation on the bridge. Don't know if I need to. Have the highlights as well. Again, don't know if I need to. I'm kind of happy with them as they are. Let's see what else we can do here. always torn between oversaturating, especially if I know I'm going to do a black and white version. I'm torn between putting that in. I don't think I want to do that this time. I'm always tempted to do it. I feel like it might be a mistake on this photo. Might have clarity on the global scale. I've done it up a little bit. So I can do it up a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. Let's do a black and white version. Let's give this 2 stars. Create a copy. And kick it to black and white. Excellent. Now we can come down and play a little more with the colors. Bringing the aquas up, which is good. That'll brighten up our bridge there. Turn that off. Bring our blues down a little bit, because that will give those mountains a nice little punch there. Purples, not really at play. Magentas, same. Reds, just the lights on the bridge. That I want to bring up, because those are, I can effectively turn those all the way off or make them bright. I want to make them bright. Especially it also brightens up the Vancouver on the bus sign. Oranges, brightening up those cables, good. Yellows, not a whole. Actually, doing decent if I go brighter. Not doing much if I go darker. And then greens. Let's brighten the greens and leave the yellows where they are. Let's do that. Actually, bringing the yellows down. I don't know. I think that's dirtying up the frame. I'm actually pretty happy with how this is looking right now. All right, good. Let's put the shadows. Now I wonder if I was to bring the aquas down and darken the bridge. If that actually might be better. It's a little more of an aggressive shift. Let's keep the reds up. The reds can be up. That's fine. But if the bridge is a little bit darker, I wonder what kind of difference that makes. Definitely fighting with some color fringing on here, which I don't love. But I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. As I usually do. That's better. That gives it a little more to work with. And I can just carefully play with the line between that. Because we do have some very nice lines coming through here, and I kind of want to make sure they're distinguished without being, yeah, I want to make sure they're distinguished without being aggressive. This is, okay, cool. Let's bring that up a little more. It's a little bit too much, something like that. All right, yeah, you can tell there's some noise in here. Let's go ahead and bring up the luminance to reduce some of that. That helps. We're also going to come up to this mask here and do a big noise reduce, which will, yeah, help bring the bridge to the foreground a little more, and will give us, yeah, give us a little more of that. I already noise reduced on I did not. Okay, let's noise reduce on the sky as well. Give the sky its shadows back. That seems like a good idea. Actually bringing some blacks in there. We'll add a little more texture to the frame, which will be nice. Cool. Working on making that relevant. Yeah, I think keeping the highlights down like that's good. Let's see, what's the next thing I want to do? This guy here. Yeah, I think brightening that up is not. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do it. I think if I wanted to doing it with the shadows like that is a better idea than doing it with the blacks. Yeah, we're clipping, but honestly, who cares? I'm not too worried about that if I'm trying to like. Yeah, it's like the black and white clipping masks are there to tell me there's no information there, but I don't want there to be information there. Like I'm like, it's telling me that's black and that's what I want it to be. That's fine. The only question is there problems with where it meets everything else? It doesn't look like it. Cool. Yeah, that looks good. That's actually looking very good. Let's come down here to the colors. I want to bring the blues down a little bit more. That's too much. Then I don't know. I'm on the fence here. About how I want this contrast to play. Let's do that. Let's leave it there. And say that looks good. All right. 3 stars. All right, I got about 10 minutes left of this stream because I'm doing a shorter one today. Also because I've got to get on a different call for a film I'm working on. So let's see. Is there a photo in here that I can edit in 10 minutes? That is the question. What are we gonna do? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. What can I edit in 10 minutes? Got some flower shots. Got some more mountains. Got some more planes. A couple reflection shots that I've done. Ooh, you know what? There's some good ones over here. Some of the ones over here. The city with the it's still the same bridge. Let's be more interesting than that. Let's do. Got some of the lighthouse here. I actually like this one a lot. Let's see. This is the other lighthouse one I did. No, this one's better. This one or this one? Nah, let's do this one. And again, let me crop both of these and see what I want to do with it. We would bring this down. Probably bring this up to about there. And this one, let's widen our crop all the way up. Let's bring this, not rotating, just want to bring it down. Bring it down, bring this up, so we're getting just kind of the base of the lighthouse and I gotta correct the horizon here real quick, or correct the angle. Yeah, that should be straight. Whew. That's a bit much, let's try that again. Something like that. Up to there, up to that, out, and probably in a bit. Actually bring it even to yeah, okay. Kind of like that. Okay, yeah, this is the one we're gonna work on. See if I can do this in 10 minutes. All right. All right, give me the sky first. Sky first, good. Clarity, highlights, blacks, shadows. Yeah, I want all the texture in that sky, or all the detail in that sky. Dehaze it a bit even. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Push it toward blue. Push a little toward green. Yeah, something like that. Good. Put the highlights back. Still want brightness. I just also want detail. Excellent. There we go. Texture was the way to go with it. Okay, cool. So now, let's see. New mask, object. This should be doable. If I can get this thing to give me the lighthouse, and ideally, everything down here as well. Let's get see if I can get the park that's in the foreground. Just might spend the whole 10 minutes waiting for this thing to connect with that. Come on, here we go. Okay, all right. I can work with that. Brush. This should be, yeah, density's all the way up. Means I can get this stuff all in here. because this stuff is all part of what I wanted. This as well. There we go. Cool. I do want to. 2% is fine. Subtract brush. Get rid of this. Want this to stop kind of at these pillars, more or less. We'll see if I end up needing to come back and do a better job right now, but let's start with this. Cool. All right. Texture. This highlights down a bit because it is a little overexposed. A little bit of clarity. Push it a little bit toward gold. Kind of like that. There we go. Good. It's a good start. Let's go back to our crop. I want to bring this in to about there. Maybe a little bit of breathing room. A little bit of breathing room on the side there. Good. What's going on here? Cool. All right. Next thing. Let's take this guy. Duplicate and invert so I get everything else. Where's that subtract brush? I want to subtract stuff here that shouldn't be there. Little kind of tops of these guys. There we go. And then also subtract the sky so I get the mountains behind it. Good. Good. Mountains and city. Excellent. So now I'm going to push that more toward blue. I'm sorry, so a little bit of that mask still there? No, it's fine. Okay, cool. More toward blue. Bring the highlights down. Bring the blacks down for sure. Actually, push a little toward green as well. I like the green in there. Let's see, clarity. Yeah, bring the clarity up. Texture up, texture down. I'm gonna do that as a. Do that as a separate thing. Yeah, you know, let's dehaze a bit. Let's darken it up. Good, cool. All right. Yeah, that's coming along pretty nicely. New mask. And this is kind of the thing the piece I was waiting to do this with. Is I'm gonna do a mask. I'm gonna bring the feathering all the way up, and I want to get this line right here. Goes to there. Let's see, I need the overlay on color, please. Yeah, and then a lower density version. That's just gonna speckle in here. Get this little section right over here. And now I'm gonna push that more toward gold. And we're gonna bring the highlights up. Here. That's that nice little cut right across to the top of the lighthouse, which is the thing that attracted me to this photo in the first place. And I think looks great. Come up here and get a little bit of this. A little on the edge, like that. Cool. Brighten that section up a little bit more. That looks so cool. I love it. I'm really happy with how this is coming out. What in black and white does this look like? Still good. Still looks really good in black and white. Okay, we might do a black and white version as well. But I've got 3 minutes left to get this one done, so let's play. Blues. Now, blues can stay kind of where they are. Aquas. I do love them. I feel like they're not helping right now. Oranges. Yeah, we'll bring the oranges. Saturation of the orange, we'll bring that up. Reds. Yeah, some nice vibrant red there. Greens. Okay, there's one spot right there that's bright green and everything else is not. We're going to leave that alone. I'm going to try to change this grass color. If I try to push the yellows toward green, what's going to happen? It's going to get weird. Not that weird. A little weird. Weirder than I want it to get. But a little bit. That's actually not too bad. And then I can bring the yellows down. Actually, do that with luminance. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. That's better. That's going to be some greens in there. Green brightness can stay where it is. Aqua. Yeah, we can bring the aquas up, actually. It's actually helping brighten those lines that we drew. Blues. I like where they are. Maybe down a tiny bit, but I'm really happy with it. Reds, we can brighten up a bit because it's lighting up the inside of the lighthouse. Oranges. Now let's bring the oranges down. Gives us some better contrast in there. Let's see. Blues we already looked at. We're gonna leave alone. Purples. Bring those down. The magentas. Magentas are the inside of the lighthouse. We'll brighten that up. I don't think I want to saturate. I think I want to leave it kind of as is. All right, not bad. One other tiny thing that I can do with a minute and a half left, and that is going to be. That's fine. We're going to do some masking. Coming down here. At 100%. Let's see. Create new mask. Brush. Density up. And all I want to do here is these people's faces are a little bit oversaturated. A little bit too saturated, a little bit too bright for what they should be. So I'm going to get her arm as well. Going to get her hand. I got a face kind of through there from the person sitting on the bench. We got an ankle down here. Let's try to get all these little areas. Up to there, get that little bit there. Just like that. And now I should be able to bring the saturation down. Bring the highlights down a bit. Let's see. Lights down, push the colors a little bit more toward blue. Because that'll get us kind of off of that really intense orange. Let's see. Bringing the texture down is a good idea. Bringing the clarity down, also not a bad idea. There we go. So without the mask, and then with it, helps people look a little more normal. All right. Hey, perfect timing. In 10 minutes, we did that. Love it. 3 stars. Let me do a quick duplicate that we will set to black and white. And that gets 2 stars because I got to go back and do more on it because there's, some serious color work to be done on that black and white photo, which is a strange thing to say, but you know how it goes. All right, I'm going to go back to my favorite photo of the day and let that be on screen while we talk about for the end of this. Where did that photo go? There it is. Yes. Okay. So, just to wrap this up real quick, because I do have another call to jump on. Updates on stuff that's going on with me. Obviously, these photos will be, as I kind of work my way through the rest of this set, these photos will be shared on my website, which if you go to erichackler.com/photography, you can find that. You can also find my Etsy store there where I sell prints of my photos. There are a lot, there's some overlap between the two, but there's also some stuff that's only available on each one, so check them both out. One thing that is available on both are my postcards, which are still some of my favorite things. I still have a few left. These are 4 different locations in the U.S., 2 national parks, one spot in the Navajo Nation, which is Antelope Canyon, which everyone should recognize from a computer desktop that you have at somewhere, and then one natural bridge, which is a state park. These are available in packs of 5, and I guess doing this right in front of the microphone means it's very loud and you can't hear me talk. They're available in packs of 5. They're fully usable postcards for you to connect with anybody you want, and they all have a QR code on them so that you can scan that, and your recipient can scan it and add their postcard to the map, and we can see where all the postcards have gone, which is a super cool thing. If you're in the Richmond area, I am teaching or kind of leading a black and white photography meetup. I was planning on doing more black and white today, and then I discovered this color. But doing a black and white photography meetup in Richmond this Saturday at 11 a.m. If you go to richmondphotographygroup.com, you can sign up for that if you're interested in being part of that and you're in the Richmond area. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other cool updates. I got a few more publications coming out, which is going to be a great thing to share and a great thing to be part of. And, yeah, oh, here's another cool thing. Taurus Magazine chose me as one of their featured artists. So on their website, they have a section for featured artists, and I'm now one of them, focusing on a series I did about the national parks, which is honestly really, really cool because the national parks are my favorite places to be, and getting to share kind of a cross section of all the the amazing places, the amazing national parks that we've got is really cool, and it's really, really wonderful to be recognized for that. So you can, if you follow Twisted in Nature on Instagram and on Facebook, especially Facebook gets a little bit more content. Yeah, Twisted in Nature. If you go there, you can follow the links and check out the publications and everything there. So, all right. I was going to switch to the close-up camera. I don't want to. I want to leave this as is. This is gorgeous. So, as always, thank you so much for doing this, and for being along for the ride with me. It's an absolute wonderful dream to be able to share these things with you guys and to be part of this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really say to finish this out. I'm grateful that I get to, that I'm in a position right now where I'm able to do this, and I hope I get to continue. Hopefully, yeah. People keep buying my photos, keep bringing me on for events and for stuff, and I will get to keep doing this and sharing these awesome places with you guys for as long as I possibly can. So, with that all said, be safe, be well, be creative, take chances, try different things. This photo, never would have thought this was what today was going to look like, but this is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful shot. Yeah, and that's another reason post-processing is so important, because we can find amazing things like this. All right. Be well, be safe, make art, and I'll see you next time. Later.